Hey y'all, we're back with another update. So I didn't record an update video yesterday, which means we are now at day 127 here. I totally forgot we were collecting. I'm sorry, we're at 128. 127 was yesterday. But yeah, so in my last video, I asked about whether or not we should use shards to go for the fusion. And then obviously just not use any of the champions that we pull from like our voids or our sacreds or anything like that. And you guys are pretty much unanimous. You all want me to go for the fusion. So I think that makes sense, honestly. I think it's worth doing. Like, sure, it's not strictly mystery shard only, but, you know, part of this whole idea is, like, show like ways to do things on this account, and like there's just no way we can ever go for a fusion if we rely solely on mystery shards. And honestly, it's really obnoxious having to get all of my food from the market and like hoard my mystery shards for fusions anyway, and it just makes playing the account kind of a pain in the ass. So you know what, I think we're going to do it. We're going to use the shards to get the fusions done, and then obviously not use any of the champions. So yeah, so what that means is that the Gnut fusion is on. I'm not sure if it's Gnut or Nut, but yeah, very, very excited for this champion. I think he's going to be a massive upgrade. We had the like the whole fusion schedule get released and everything for him, and so we're gonna have to do all the different components. You can't really skip. I guess you can skip some stuff if you pull enough shards to get the epic from the summon rush, although not really, because you kind of need to get like you need to do the champ training to get the void champions you need for this guy, because basically there's 3 copies of this force champion. The rare is also force, so we're going to need a lot of force pots. Fortunately, I have a ton. And then we have to get these 4 rare void champions and fuse them in here. So as far as ascension pots go, oh, actually, you know what, we should do a little overview of where we're at on the account in terms of resources, so we can talk about like what we have going in and what we're going to have left over. In terms of pots, we're doing great. We have tons of void potions. We need like a handful, I guess, of the superior ones, but yeah, got lots. Got 17, got 250 plus. Force potions also doing great. Got 200 of these, got 62 of the superiors. Honestly, we're doing great on all of our pots. We don't really need pots. Maybe we might need a few of the superior arcane, but obviously arcane pots are the easiest ones to get, so not a big problem. In terms of shards, we are loaded on shards, so we're gonna have no problem with that because we haven't pulled a single shard since we started this account like 3 months ago, or 4 months ago now. Holy crap, we're on 4 months, aren't we? Damn. All right, so we've got 212 ancients, we've got 53 voids, and we've got 25 sacreds. So we'll see how it breaks down when we get the Summon Rush event, how we're going to do that. But yeah, that's on the docket. Resources, we've got 2,100 gems ready to go. So that's good. We've been saving our energy. So we've got a few different energy refills in here. You know what? I should collect this stuff. A few different energy refills in here. Some of these are expiring pretty soon, but we'll use them pretty quickly. I should say that I did make some progress already on the first event, which is this spider tournament. I was thinking, I guess, I don't know what I was thinking, honestly, because they kind of released the fusion like when I woke up. Basically this morning I saw all the stuff for the fusion, but I had gone to bed before using most of my resources anyway, because I wanted to, if I was going to use them on any dungeon, I was going to use them on Fire Knight, but I wanted to wait for that Fury 3x to end anyway before using them. So I saved all of my refills for this morning, which was perfect because then it'll let me use them all for farming Spider today. And then also that 650 energy here, because I didn't make a video yesterday, I never actually ended up logging out of my account. And then, therefore, I didn't actually collect the energy until I woke up this morning, and then logged in or like restarted my client, and I had the 650 energy, and that had already been started with the Spider tournament for the Nuke Fusion, so I was able to dump all of that on there. So we're making good progress on Spider. We've already got 1,200 out of the 2,250 we need. We'll probably go all the way to 2750. I might even try and get some Relentless gear from this. We'll see what happens. But we are being a little cautious for a couple reasons because, well, for a few things. One, we have Clan vs. Clan starting in 9 hours, so I've been saving some resources. I saved my 3v3 energy refill for the Clan vs. Clan. I haven't been buying them because I don't think it's worth it at this point in this account, but and we're not really prioritizing Clan vs. Clan. But I did save the resources so I could use them there. And then I guess that's the main thing. The other thing that's happening is that we've got this Dungeon Divers event starting in 10 hours. So we don't really want to farm our spider, like farm extra energy. We just want to use what we have. We're not going to use any of our energy refills like these things today. We're going to wait until tomorrow, and then we'll actually use the energy refills that we get from the daily login once the Dungeon Divers has started. Actually, let me go ahead. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me go ahead and pull up the Fusion schedule so we can go over it a little bit. Open in browser. Oh, nope, that's not the schedule. That's the actual champion skills. Where's the schedule? Here we go. Okay, I'm going to swap this over so we can take a look. Okay, so we got this right here. Is my head blocking anything? Nothing important. So yeah, main things to be aware of. We've got the Spider Tournament, and that's going to overlap with the Dungeon Divers event. We've also got the Champion Training event going on. This is a perfect time to be farming your food in Spider with your solo Artak build. And we're going to talk about Artak in a second because I just rebuilt him. But yeah, farm Spider 20 if that's the best you can do, but it's a great option to level food in Spider Dungeon because we've got this champ training event right now, and you can double dip in points. We're also going to have another champ training that's going to start. I think, do we have just two champ trainings? Yeah, we have 2 champ trainings for this fusion, but they're pretty close to each other. Like, this one ends and the next one starts the very next day. So we definitely don't want to be in a position where we need to be leveling all our food at the same time, because we need to be doing like this artifact, or we need to be doing the Spider Tournament, we need to be doing the Dungeon Divers, we need to be doing the Dragon Tournament. All these are going to be overlapping with this champ training, and then we're going to be starting up another champ training. We do not want to have to be dealing with champ training while we're trying to get the rest of the stuff done with our energy. So that's why we've prepped all of our food and whatnot. We've got tons and tons of 3 stars ready to go that are all going to eat a couple of brews. I've got tons and tons of 3 stars that are already leveled so that we can fuse them up to 4 stars. We've got lots of 4 stars that are ready to accept brews. We're just going to go bam, 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 bam. But because the first 2 dungeons that we get in this event are Spider and Dragon, it's a real good opportunity, like I was saying a minute ago, to farm food and prep more 3-star champions to accept brews for this next one, which is going to occur during the Ice Golem, which we can probably solo Ice Golem, but it's going to also overlap with the Fire Knight, and it's very hard to get teams that can farm Fire Knight with food. So just keep that in mind. Definitely going to try and get as much value out of farming food during this event in the dungeons, and then we'll use it as few brews as possible to get over the mark, to get this champ training done, but we want to make sure we're saving everything for champ training too. Other things to keep in mind: artifact enhancement event. We have 3 of them during this fusion. So we've got one going on right now. We've got one starting right after this one ends, and then we've got another one starting after that. So definitely be careful with your silver and be cognizant of the fact that you're going to need a bunch of it. Another reason to farm Spider, because Spider is really good silver. Also, it's a good idea just in general to save your resources, your silver, and your upgrading to do artifact during an artifact enhancement event. Other things in here, I mean, those are the main things, right? Other than that, we just have the Spider Tournament, we have the Dragon Tournament, Ice Golem, and Fire Knight, the usual kind of thing. We've got a couple of summon rushes in here. We've got the Champ Chase Tournament at the end, so keep that in mind. You can also do, let's see, how many of these rares are we going to be able to get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, wait, this is for the Void. So wait, there's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so you can do the entire, you can do 3 of the epic fusions for this Ambassador Lethalin for the Champ Chase Tournament, which means you can pick up a lot of free points. That's 750 free points that you're going to need to use, you're going to need to do the fusion part anyway, to get the ultimate Gnut. So yeah, definitely take advantage of that in the Champ Chase tournament and get a bunch of points for free by doing that, by having like leveling all these rares up and getting them ready to do the actual fusion during Champ Chase to pick up the epic. So we'll definitely try and do that on this account. I don't know if I probably won't try and get the epic from the summon rush. I don't know. I guess. Yeah, I probably won't. Just because it makes more sense to like play the fusion a little more naturally and like do everything rather than just rely on the fact that we have all these shards banked up. So yeah, and that'll be keeping with our theme of trying to pull as few non-mystery shards as possible. Yeah, and then other than that, the rare is going to be for the void rare is going to be for the void epic, obviously. So we're not going to be able to fuse him during that event. We'll have to fuse him right afterwards. I think that's going to occur during a personal reward, clan versus clan. I would have to double check. I would assume that we're going to have a personal reward clan versus clan start right here. So you'll be able to do the fusion to get an extra 30,000 points for clan versus clan if you, yeah, just keep that in mind if you plan on pairing that together, assuming they follow the normal schedule. So yeah, that's the Gnut fusion. I'm definitely going to do uploads every single day. We'll talk about what we're working on and how things are going. So, you know, just keep following along if you want to see like what you're supposed to be doing, and then every day I'll kind of talk about what the plan is for doing on the next day. If you're not going to have enough resources to actually do this fusion, some of these other champions are actually decent. So we've got the rare for Sylvan Watchers, the Void. I think he's okay, but not. I mean, he's not great. No, he's whatever. I wouldn't use this champion for anything. Well, maybe if he has crazy multipliers. I haven't looked up his multipliers, but he just has an A1 that fills his turn meter slightly, 10% turn meter fill across both hits is not impressive. Increased crit rate is like whatever. Decreased defense and weaken, but they're the small versions, so I mean, maybe okay for Sylvan Watchers. And then this passive here just deals an extra 5% damage for weaken and decreased defense. It's like, whatever. Like if you had insane multipliers, maybe, but this guy's not interesting. This other Void rare is actually pretty interesting. He's got a lot of nice stuff for Sylvan Watchers. I probably won't be able to keep him on this account because we need to use all of them for the fusion, but he is decent. He's got this decreased attack on his A1. It's the small version, but that's fine. He's got this heal on the A2, and he also gives you an increased defense, small version again, but 3-turn cooldown, 15% of enemies or allies max HP is not bad. And then he's got this revive here. Revives like this are a little sketch because 25% HP and 25% turn meter is pretty small, so there's a good chance they'll die, but he does put a shield of 20% of their max HP, so it's really more like being revived with 45% HP. So hopefully that'll be enough to keep them, you know, to get their turn and actually stay alive. Then he also comes with a speed and faction crypt. So this is a good reviver for faction crypts if you don't have an, I think Renan the Shrike is the epic reviver in that faction. So if you don't have her or you don't have Elva or something, I think he's a decent rare for sure. In terms of the epics, this epic right here is kind of for the new Shogun boss. He's got this decreased crit rate, which is decent for that boss because that boss has much higher crit rate than normal PvE content. He's got this taunt that you can put on an ally. Also gives you reflect damage on all allies. So taunt buff is kind of interesting for the new boss because the new boss is mostly single target. And then it has this decrease of the duration of 2 random debuffs on allies. This decrease of the duration, protected abilities, as far as I understand, protected debuffs and buffs are not affected by this, or are not protected from this decreased duration. So by using this decreased duration, you can rip off those protected debuffs that the new boss is going to put on your team. For example, the one that makes you weak hit and the other one that blocks your passives. So this is kind of interesting. I mean, I think he'd be okay for that boss. To be honest, I think that boss is going to be stupid easy. Everyone's QQing because the boss has this whole mechanic with like awakenings and stuff, and people are whining. And honestly, I think that boss is going to end up being a joke. We've already seen from content creators like YST made a video earlier today showing how the boss is just like stupid farmable. It's like fire, or it's like a Spider 20 or Spider 10 hard. It's like you kill it in like 20 seconds. It's a joke. So even if we don't end up doing that strategy, I think there's a lot of strategies we can use to just completely cheese this boss. For example, he has a lot of abilities that do things like put protected debuffs on your team. But if you just like use a champion that dies and then revive it, there's no like the protection, like the debuff falls off when the like enemy dies. So you just have like a level, like there's honestly a strat like I think we could probably make work with like a level 1 champion where the boss with a bunch of crit damage, the boss just attacks it, you kill it, it doesn't get the debuff because it died. So then you revive it with like Broadmaw, and then it attacks it again, puts up another buff, and then it dies the next. Like, I don't know. It's just a lot of things I think we could do with reviving and letting things die that can totally just trivialize all of its debuff mechanics and just using revive instead of cleanse, basically. So, I don't know. We'll see how it happens. Right now, that boss looks really easy on the test server. If they nerf it or buff it and make it harder, we'll deal with that when we get there, but I'm honestly not expecting that boss to be super challenging, and I don't think we're going to actually have to follow any of the mechanics that are actually listed in the boss. I think there's going to be ways to just cheese and ignore all the mechanics, but this guy, if you want to actually do the mechanics as they're described in the boss, that's kind of what he's meant for. So that's pretty much it. Gnut, we've already talked about his kit a little bit. This guy is amazing. He's fantastic turn meter manipulation. His damage, his 3-hitter max HP. I've seen like some nutty stuff with this. Super good. This is probably the single hardest hitting ability for any bosses in the game, even harder than Acrizia, because I think it's the only 3-hitter that deals damage based off enemy max HP. So that is just absolutely nuts. It just is just a super good champion. Oh, the other thing is I think he's totally going to transform my clan boss team, because right now we have to use Rhonda in the clan boss team. We don't have to, but she's the best option because she does so much damage and she can bring Brimstone in, but she's not bringing anything to the team but damage. This guy can bring nutty damage to clan boss, and he can bring decreased attack and weaken to our team. So if we just basically fit him out to work instead of Rhonda, I think he can do wonders in our clan boss team in terms of just doing a lot of damage and letting us survive a lot longer, because we'll have the decreased attack option in there as well. So I'm really excited to get my hands on this champion. I think he's going to be great. Okay. Man, this is a busy update. There's so much I want to talk to you guys about. Other things that have happened. 3v3 arena finished. We stayed in bronze 3, and that's going well. I have my energy ready to go, but I haven't claimed it yet because I wanted to wait until tomorrow to claim it for the Dungeon Divers. Once the Dungeon Divers starts, we'll farm Spider with that energy is what I'm thinking right now. So that happened as well. We have the clan versus... Oh, I need to make sure I set a timer. We have the clan versus clan quests, or the clan quests, starting in 7 hours and 45 minutes. So let's make sure we remember to grab them. So that's going to happen tonight, and that's all well and good. We'll do that. Let's go ahead and check our Altar of Souls. I definitely want to keep an eye out for a Gnut soul. How many stones can I get? I can get 27. Okay, so yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye out to see if we can get one of those souls for him, because getting just one, even just one, would be really, really nice. Okay, so other things that have happened. We have the Artifact Enhancement event going on right now, right? So I've been rebuilding some of my champions and leveling up their gear, so we'll go ahead and collect some of this stuff. In particular, I rebuilt my Artak with some of the better gear that I've been farming recently. And we got some really cool pieces. So, check it out. We got another triple roll speed. This gives us 2 triple roll speed pieces. I had originally put Artak in this build with this chest, and this is what the Hell Hades Optimizer wanted, but it was only level 12, and then we took it up to 16, and we roll in speed again. So I'm like, oh my god, so good, so good. So spoiled. But yeah, anyway, we got this up. I rebuilt him to make him a lot faster. So if we check out his stats now, hold on, let me hide the webcam. If we check out his stats now, He's got 63,000 health, but that's actually closer to 70,000 because he's wearing this blood shield ring because I was trying to do a Scarab on floor 60 hard. Couldn't get through that, by the way, which is part of the justification for doing the rebuild. But if we put him in his original ring, he'll get another almost 6,000 health, so he'll be almost 7,000 health. Before he was like 7,500 health, or 75,000 health, and he also had like 2,800 defense, and so once we put him in his other ring, he's going to be like 2,350 in this build. But the last build was like 190 speed, and this build is 245, so we've gained like over 50 speed in this build versus the other build. This is like an actual respectable build for like a pretty decently progressed account at this point, I'm feeling. I mean, HP and defense are still a little lower than I would like them to be. In part, that's because the Doom Tower, or not the Doom Tower, the affinity bonuses aren't maxed yet, but I've got 1,300 points to spend. So we're going to max the resistance one next, and then we'll probably go for HP and defense as well. Yeah, I'm feeling really, really happy with this Artak build, and hopefully I'm going to test it in Doom Tower Scarab floor 60? Is that the one we're on? Yeah, floor 50. Yeah, I need to do this. Couldn't get through it in the old build. He was just dying. So I was trying to do it with Broadmaw and him, and it wasn't working. So I don't know. I wanted to rebuild him anyway, but we'll test that build out and see how that goes. I did break a little bit of Arbiter's build. I took off her boots and her shield, so I'm going to rebuild her next during this artifact enhancement event to try and while we finish all this off. Haven't rebuilt Delaja yet or built her at all, so I definitely want to get her built out because her original purpose was helping us with Scarab, and since we're currently stuck on Scarab, I think she would be great to bring in, but I need to actually get her built. I went through and have been doing some cleansing. I sold all the accessories I've been farming, because I've been farming, not all of them, but I have so many accessories that I've been farming that I've just been collecting in my storage, and I hadn't sold them. So I finally went in and cleared that out, got up to like 22 million silver, but spent like 6 mil leveling up gear, and finished his build. So yeah, I'm gonna do Arbiter. I literally just finished this a minute ago, but we'll do Arbiter later. Actually, speaking of doing that, I kind of wanted to test this in Spider and see. I'm assuming the new build's gonna work great, but let's just make sure. The other thing I want to mention, I just remember that super raids are on for Spider right now. You will not get twice as many clan points for running super raids during CVC. So if you're trying to get CVC points, make sure you run all your runs on non-super raid versions once the CVC starts. But right now we're just burning some of the energy that we're going to have to use before CVC even starts. But this looks like it's going great. Looks like it's even better than last time. I think we're going to get this done in less than a minute. Let's see. Okay, about a minute. That's about what it was taking before. A little less than a minute. Actually, no, that is the current best time. Best time is 53 seconds. So there we go. We got a new record. Ooh, look at this banner. Accuracy, speed. Love to see those stats. This one, no. Yeah, so that's the new Artak build. I'm going to be really curious to test it in Dragon and stuff in the next few days, but right now we're just not going to worry about that because we need to make sure we're getting all the other stuff, or we're spending all our energy on the things for the fusion. Anything else I want to go over today? I think that's pretty much it. I need to make sure I do all this stuff. I've been in Platinum Arena like a bunch of times today. It's so funny. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute, though. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. We're going to... we're just going to spend the energy we have that's accumulating throughout the day on Spider, but we're not going to claim any of our refills. When our refills happen tomorrow, we will farm the rest of the energy or when the Dungeon Diver starts tomorrow, we'll farm the rest of the energy on Spider for the Dungeon Divers, with an eye on leveling up more champions for the Champ Chase. Oh man, you only need to do half the points to get the rare versus get the legendary book. I'm gonna have to decide if I want to go for the legendary book. I kind of want to. Oh, one more thing to mention. Referral accounts are going well. This one's level 28. This one's level 21. I've been just looking over at them right now. I've been going hard, leveling them up. So I think there should be no trouble getting these ready to go before the Champ Chase event that happens at the end of this fusion. So we will pull Cronam then, and I'm gonna have to decide, like, do we want to book Cronam first, or do we want to book Gnut first? I don't know. I'll think about it later. I haven't fully decided yet. But all right, that's gonna be it for me. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Cheers.